mercy. Take a look at that prayer circle this morning. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Fat boy, little buddy, Forrest. Apache's gone over there and gone in the pens to feed his babies. Still bottle feeding the babies. Sally and Black Beauty. And Forrest over there saying, hey, what about me, boss? Come over here and throw me some feed out of here. These guys over here, as you go around and kind of wander over here and look out toward the burn cans and the Texas Hunter feeder, find more bucks and does and wild turkey. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Quite a few turkeys out there, mama and some babies. Those smaller birds are babies. Pretty good size. Kind of sound like an airplane trying to land in the yard. TC, big boy, big boy. The antlers are definitely large. Look at that right there. Is that special? Wow. Well, got to get Christine loaded up. My beautiful Chris, and take her to church. Praise God for another great day, another great week, and another great year. All right, as we fire the truck up, the car up, not the truck, getting ready to head to church. Your deer out there, baby.
No, good.
Yes, they are, aren't they? Look at them out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all out there eating. Kind of go by. Got lots of turkeys out there too. Look at there. That's a good little bunch of baby turkeys. Look at all the deer. Look at all the baby turkeys. They're pretty good size. They're almost as big as their mamas. See how the small ones are running around right there. They're a little wild with this car right here, but they want that South Fresh deer food. We just got in 3 more pallets. Look at Mr. Forrest right there. Isn't he huge? Isn't he huge? Those turkeys don't like the vehicle being this close to them. They take off running through the woods, but they'll be back. Again, they're flying. Look at all the turkeys. Pretty good little bunch of turkeys out there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But pretty good bunch of deer too. Mr. Forrest, TC, Fat Boy. Wow. Off to see us off to church, honey.
I do.
Yep. Quite a few friends running around this morning. They've been all around the house, in the front yard, right, the bedroom, just about everywhere. That's little bent horn Buddy there. Get out there around the feeder. Yeah, there's plenty around the feeder. Look back behind that burn barrel. You see antlers sticking out everywhere. The girls and the boys. That's Mr. Force right there. Look at him. Look at him. Behind that burn barrel. Apache's put him his little private stash down there. Buck's back behind, kind of moving people around out there. Everybody kind of trying to hog each other. Way back off out there in the distance is one elk. The elk last week, while we were fishing, actually swim across the lake, 7 or 8 or 10 of them. And we still got a couple hanging around the yard, but that's all. That's a big one back there eating. They are huge animals. They like to live on that mountain across over there too, and I don't mind that. I don't really want all that many big old elk in the yard. That's a beauty right there. Antlers galore sticking up everywhere. Antlers galore. Look at Mr. Forrest, my gosh. Poor little does, they're running them off. Y'all better be nice to them girls. Y'all gonna be playing around, fooling around with them after a while. Another couple of months. So right now in this 100-degree heat, all we want to do is get all we can eat. They want to feed up heavily during the night and in the morning. lay around during this 100-degree weather. I can't blame them for that. Can't blame them for that at all. Little buddy. He's got some pretty nice looking antlers, even with that old bent horn over there. He's looking better though, all the time. Got a little crippled up still in the back end, but doing just fine. The law of big. Ooh, looky there. Oh, and they've got soft horns, and they're just about to collide on a little bit of South Fresh deer food laying there. But what you really can't see is there's an elk. There, you see the head? There's an elk. The big elk has just walked in there. Big old beautiful cow. Walked in there and just sort of strolled up amongst everybody and decided to have some munchies. Beautiful deer everywhere. Just quite a few big bucks out there. 5 or 6 of them. Just absolutely gorgeous. And they're not really paying a whole lot of attention to each other. Look at that pretty fat boy. But Forrest is just spectacular. A little buck there. A little 8-point. Pretty nice looking little 8-point. Probably his very first horns. Look how big that elk. You know how big TC is. That's TC. Right there eating. That's TC right there behind the burn barrel. Look at that elk behind it. That cow elk, how large she is in comparison. They're huge, huge animals. Huge animals. That's the deal, Lucille. Yes, it is. My. That's 2 beauties right there. I never get tired of looking at those 2 deer. And as good a deer as Fat Boy is, and Fat Boy is older, but he does not have the genetics. That's just straight Southern Oklahoma genetics, and Fat Boy is a beautiful deer, nice rack. But look at the difference in the rack between Fat Boy and TC. TC is just absolutely, or not TC, but Forrest. That's Forrest, I'm sorry. I think it's Forrest. And he turned around there. I thought it was, I'm pretty sure it was the ads Forrest. I think I can see I believe that I can see his little green halo there on him as he's got his head down. But they're running around together. They're friends right now. They won't be friends another couple, 2 or 3 months. They won't be friends at all. They'll fight to the death. And you just do not want to fight Mr. Forrest to the death because he's been there, done that. Yeah, that's definitely Forrest. Look at the size of those antlers, will you? My goodness, sakes alive. Good gosh. Just absolutely a beauty. And don't get tired of looking at him. By the way, it made it to 109 degrees today. 109 degrees. That's 3 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. Incredible, impressive heat, but it's supposed to break a little bit. Supposed to have what they call a backdoor cold front. To me, that would sound like it comes in from the south rather than the north, but I don't know. That didn't happen because I'm in the south and it's cooler in northern Oklahoma. Up around Lake Tenkiller right now, it's just in the 80s. Oh, speaking of TC, he just walked into the frame. I didn't even see him coming. Well, these 3 guys are obviously running around together a lot right now, which is what they do before they change their mind and become enemies. Is that beautiful? That is absolutely gorgeous. Forrest. I thought I'd get him to look up. He says, I'm not looking up. I know who you are. I'm eating South Fresh deer food. That's what I'm doing. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now, that's a sight. There's red tag and twins. There's a pile of bucks. Get over looking at the prayer circle. Toward the prayer circle, you find more bucks, more does. Good lands. More babies. There's another mama and a baby out there. A mama with one baby and then a mama with two babies. And both of those are red tag deer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a dozen deer out there, probably 11 or 12 deer. I don't know. Look at those two big bucks. They're just licking around on each other. Like the little tiny buck over there, the little fawn. I don't know if it's a buck or not. I just said that, but look at the two TC and his son Forrest licking around on each other. Goodness, goodness, goodness. You just keep looking. Look at those horns coming out both sides of that telephone pole or light pole, electric pole. Yeah, Benelli's walking around out there. They can notice in Benelli. Don't really pay a whole lot of attention to him, but got their attention. Is what it did. My word. And if you look off on down in that direction, you find a baby elk and her mama. Lots of activity. Ooh, two baby elk. I get behind the trees, we find two baby elk. Two calves. A mama and two beautiful calves. Now that is a pile of deer. No other way to explain it. A pile of deer and elk. Oh, me. That is absolutely fantastic. I love it, I love it, I love it. What a delight. What a delight to just be able to look out and see big old deer and baby deer everywhere. And elk mixed right in with them. Elk mixed right in with the baby deer. Just looking all around. Elk across the road. Antlers swinging around everywhere. That's what I call. I want you to take a look at that prayer circle. And Mr. Forrest just got up. He was laying there with them. Big elk across the road. Another elk in the background there. Look at that prayer circle. Just absolutely. They're all laying down there side by side like they're having a little meeting. Having a little meeting. Big elk back behind all of those. At least one, maybe two back there. I do see another elk or two over there. Mr. Forrest walking around. Crows out there this morning, seeing if the deer left any food for them to eat. My, my, my. But that's special right there. That is special. Those big boys laying there, side by side by side. They're all buddies right now. They're all buddies, but they won't all stay buddies. That's the problem. And that is Mr. Killer right there. He killed over his limit last year. That's for sure. At least two that we know of. Two that we know of. That's not counting what might have happened out in the wild. And he's going to have a bigger set of artillery weapons on his head this year than he had last year. but he'll eat out of my hand. And he's precious, and I love him. And all these other guys, even Big TC, better steer clear of Mr. Forrest. At least that's my advice. I've been down walking in the woods this morning, just kind of enjoying this little breeze that we're having, and a little bit cooler morning. We have had such incredibly hot days. I'm talking about days 105 to 110, 111, even 112 actual temperature. And with chill factors, heat indexes even higher than that. And this morning's just different. They say we have a backdoor cold front. I'm not sure what that means. Came in yesterday. I couldn't tell a bit of difference. Backdoor cold front. Maybe it hadn't got here yet, because it was like 106 or 7 degrees. I think it made it up to yesterday. But as I walked up through the woods, I get up here and the feeder's gone off. And we have antlers. Yes, we do. We have giant antlers growing. Mr. Forrest right there. Come here. Hey, Benelli, here. Quit running around. Benelli running around. Some of the wild deer, those are all wild deer that are kind of running away there. They got a little scared. Mr. Forrest said, "That's just Benelli's, you silly deer." And a wild deer over there to the left is Fat Boy, and that is a totally wild deer, but he's been coming around for 3 years now. I think that is his 4th or 5th set of horns. And he's basically an 8-point. He's an 8-point year after year after year. There's some wild does out there. We had a lot of deer, and that's TC, I believe, way back there. I'm not positive, but I think that's TC way back there. I don't know why he ran off. He just don't run off. It may not be TC. It may be somebody else. But Mr. Forrest looking great. I don't have any carrots with me. Of course, he's eating deer food, a big pile that Apache said throwed him a big pile up there. He's just scraping them down. You can just look and see his antlers are just really spectacular. 8x5 is what he looks like this year. 13 points, a lot stronger on this side. Maybe another point going to come out there too. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, maybe 9 on that one side. I don't know. The other side looks like it's simply going to have 5. But golly, what a brack! What a beautiful deer! And he's just absolutely gorgeous. That's just all I can say. Absolutely gorgeous. And hopefully, though, when one antler falls off, the other will fall off at the same time this year, and they'll still have that. They'll be together, and maybe I can find them. I did not find his antlers last year at all. Did not find them. I mean, I looked a lot. And Benelli found a few antlers for me last year. She still hadn't really clicked in her pretty little head that she's supposed to be finding antlers when she's in the woods. I think she's run by a lot too, probably. But if she smells them, a good likelihood she'll pick them up and bring them to me. But hopefully that'll get better as we hunt for the antlers come next spring. So, what a beautiful deer. Comes another girl coming in that ran off a minute ago. Says, "Let me get in here." She must be a dominant doe. The does are dominant just like the bucks are dominant. There's TC kind of walked back up here. Oh, it wasn't TC out there. Another deer walking up through there. I don't know who that is. That's a wild doe. I don't know. That deer's got a bend over. It might be. No, that's not. I thought it might be Little Buddy, but I don't believe it is. That deer does have a bent over brow tine, it looks like. That's a totally wild deer. Totally wild deer that loves the food. I don't blame him. I love food myself. What a picture.